Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend. It is Monday, September 8th, just past 7 p.m. out here in Arizona, 10 p.m., 10:09 on the East Coast. Hope you guys are, having a great day and had an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are awesome, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact. Thank you so very much. The growth on the channel continues to grow. You guys are such a huge part of that. The growth continues to grow. The growth on the channel continues to gain momentum. You guys are a huge part of that. And I've been trying to be better about doing this. I know they're all mentioned, as the stream rolls in and everything, but thank you so much to the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members, and of course, our amazing group of Death Squad mods. You guys are awesome. We're going to catch up with a little bit of news here, and it's going to be part of it's going to be news. One piece I have here is, I don't know, I guess it's a little bit, I don't know if it's considered a rant, but we're going to get into something. I'm going to show off some stuff here. I'm curious to know what you guys think, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact. So, chime on in the chat, chime in the comments section. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before Halloween. If that happens, guys, I will do a Halloween stream dressed as the Alpha from 28 years later. That is a promise. It is not a threat. And I'm curious to see, can we do it? I don't know. It doesn't look like we're going to make it, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. I'm going to say what's up to everybody here in the chat. I don't think I have, you know what? Let me just cover a couple quick things that have nothing to do with what we usually talk about here on the channel. Guys, fall has officially started because football season is here. I'm a big football fan. I like college. I love the NFL. At least I don't love everything about the NFL, but I do love professional football. It's amazing. So for those of you who are fans, I know some of you, Chester, I'd imagine you're a Lions fan. Ashton, I know that you are a Patriots fan. But for those of you who maybe haven't talked football, maybe you're a fan, let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the comments, who do you root for? I'm a Washington fan. I still call them the Redskins. And off to a good start so far. But we've got a tough game against Green Bay next week. So yeah, there we go. We can say that fall has officially started because football season is here in full swing. Other news, guys, I got the job. I got the job that I interviewed for on Friday. So heck yeah, that's awesome. It's great news. I'm still just getting used to the news and had a little bit of orientation today, and we'll be training up and everything for the next few weeks or so. So it doesn't sound like it's going to be anything too cumbersome. So I'll be able to, train up, study for the exam to get licensed and everything like that. And then I'll be able to let you guys know a lot more about it once or not. I don't have to talk about that stuff here. But I just wanted to follow up and let you guys know that I got the job. So everyone that said a prayer or sent some good juju out there or just had a positive thought for me, thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. Time to light the cigars and celebrate. Okay, now I'm going to jump in and say what's up to everybody here in the chat. Looks like we have 19 people kicking it with us. Thank you guys so much. You are amazing for joining in. As always, I've got a little super chat goal there if you guys want to do a public watch party on the Discord server. If you haven't signed up or joined, not really signed up, if you haven't joined us on the Discord server, because it doesn't cost anything, really all you need is a login for Discord and you can join us. The link is pinned in the chat, so you can find us there. It's a really great way to, just build an even deeper sense of community. We had a really fun, with the members last night, we had a really fun mixtape party. There was really just a handful of us in there, but we were all getting to just do a round robin pick of songs. We got into some second wave and third wave ska. It was really fun. And yeah, a whole bunch of ridiculous fun over there on Discord. So you can join us over there if you'd like. And yeah, so the super chat goal is there. Super chats aren't required. If you can and you want to, awesome. If not, liking, sharing, subscribing. Those are things you can do for free that really, really do help the channel grow and get seen by more folks. All right, let me say what's up to everybody here in the chat. We got Chester Franklin Jr., what's happening? Shot by Shot is in the house as well. Tara Brewer is here. We got Paula Fitzhenry, the aforementioned Ashton Luck. How are you doing, Ashton? And we got Lamontre Gillard in the house as well. King Matthew III is kicking it with us also. Who else do we have here? We've got Erica, our Death Squad mod, and the sole moderator, the bossy boots of the Discord server. How about that? Great to see you, Erica. Hope you are doing well. Who else do we have joining us here? We got Aaron Click. What's up, Aaron? Great to see you. We have Eli Cortez, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. Hope you had a great weekend, Eli. Good to see you, as always. And we got Mike Baum in the chat. What's happening? Howdy ho, chat. I love a good old hidey ho. Thank you for joining us, Mike. Really appreciate it, man. Let's see here. Mike, you've been showing up lately, and I dig it. I dig it, man. We got Brett, one of our great channel members. What's happening, Brett? Hope you are doing well this evening. Always a pleasure to see you. We got Dean Renner, who worked like 50 hours this weekend or something crazy like that. One of our Patreon members, channel members, Death Squad mod. Dean is a triple threat. And I almost forgot, guys. Erica, also a channel member, not just a mod. Holy cow. We got the chat's flying now, but I'm trying to grab this one. Big Rod is in the house. Big Rod, so great to see you. I feel like it's been a little bit. Thank you so much for keeping up your membership. I hope everything is well. It is awesome to see you, man. It's I know it's been a little while, so hopefully that just means summer was amazing for you and a lot of fun. You were too busy having a blast, and you couldn't trouble yourself with the ridiculousness of the Davey Death Ray channel, which is A-okay, man. It's a double thumbs up, A-okay. How about that? We got Brad Underwood in the chat, says, my Eagles started the season right by beating the Cowboys, and congrats on the job, Davey. Thank you so much. Yeah, you guys beat the Cowboys, we beat the Giants. It was a 50-50 there in the NFC East. I mean, I guess there's really no way it would have gone. Ooh, fantasy football. There you go, Big Rod. I don't do fantasy. I'm just such a fan of watching every single game. Fantasy only distracted me when I do it, but it can be really fun for sure. Absolutely. Hopefully you're doing well with your fantasy football, Big Rod. I guess you'll find out here in an hour or two if you won your week 1 matchup, unless you've got it well in hand. Oracle 684 is in the house. What's happening? Says, congrats about the job. Anything new in the world of horror? Yes, we're going to cover some news. So if you saw the thumbnail, I know it's not really there. Some of it's in the description of the video or the title of the video, and all of it's pretty much in the description. So yeah, we're going to get to some stuff. Nothing really major here, but a couple pieces that I wanted to cover there. We got Joel from Dark Room Reviews. What's happening, Joel? So good to see ya. Always a pleasure, my guy. And I think we are all caught up with the chat. Awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for kicking it here on a Monday night. I know there is a Monday night football game on, so I do appreciate everybody for joining me when there's you got Troy Aikman and Joe Buck on the call, all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Cool. Doesn't look like I'm missing anything at all. I'm going to have a sip of water because I've already got, I guess I would call it cotton mouth, although I haven't been smoking. I just have a dry mouth. There we go. Aaron Click says, I'm indifferent to football, but if pressed, I root for the Dolphins because they're my wife's favorite NFL team, and the Colts because I live in Indiana. Well, the Colts absolutely destroyed the Dolphins. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Dolphins this year, Aaron. We could see wholesale change in that organization if the year goes the way that this game went yesterday. We're going to see some pretty big changes there. Let's see, what do we got? Joel just went and saw Conjuring Last Rites. Erica's asking for no spoilers. Yeah, I mean, that should be a general rule. No spoilers until a movie's been out for a good, few months or something like that. I would imagine something like that. I don't know. Yep. All right. Big Rod says, had an awesome summer. Glad to be back. Missed the whole Death Squad. Well, Big Rod, one of our great channel members, we are pumped to have you back, brother. Thank you so much for kicking it with us, man. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into, oh, I think I missed Adrian James is in the chat. What's happening, Adrian? Always a pleasure, my guy. Always a pleasure. Yeah, let's see. I think I pretty much covered the Discord server fun. Guys, free, awesome. If you're a channel member, you should definitely be over there because every other week we are going to have members only gatherings on the Discord. They will not be here on YouTube. For example, yesterday's mixtape. We can't do the mixtape listening parties here on the YouTube side because of rights issues, but Discord doesn't have those issues. So we were able to rock along. Nobody had to go line up a track or whatever. I just played DJ and I'm building a mixtape playlist. So now it's probably got like 20 some songs. Some people suggested songs they wanted to hear, but they didn't end up making it to the stream or to the hangout yesterday. So those are still in there. I'm just going to keep on building that list. And then maybe at some point we just have like a shuffle mixtape party where we just hit that shuffle button and see what the YouTube playlist picks for us. How about that? So yeah, that's pretty much the last little thing before we get into the news. Also, guys, there is a whole bunch of spooky season merch on the Fourth Wall Shop. So the link is in the description below. And if you use the promo code, as you can see right down there in the ticker as it goes by, use the promo code SPOOKY, you get 10% off your order. That code isn't going to be around for the whole spooky season. So if you see something there that you want, I would recommend grabbing it sooner rather than later if you can. And having said that, let's jump into some fun little bit of movie news. Guys, we're going to follow up on this here. Boom. There we go. Okay. Now we're all sorted. So guys, last week we covered the box office for the 50th anniversary re-release of my favorite film of all time, Jaws. That's right. The Steven Spielberg classic starring Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, Lorraine Gary, and the amazing Roy Scheider. Yes, Roy Scheider, not Roy Schneider, not Rob Schneider, Roy Scheider. So good. So damn good. This is pretty cool. Last week we followed the news, or we caught up on the box office news. It had gotten about $10 million through last week, through Labor Day weekend and everything like that. And you can see here, this is over on Box Office Mojo. Guys, worldwide, Jaws has grossed about $14.35 million so far. And I checked at least the AMC listings because I'm an AMC A-list member. So I went through my app and it looks like it's going to play here in some capacity in the Phoenix area until the 17th of September. So God, this is incredible. I mean, it looks like, let's see here. You can see right there on the screen, it says the budget was $7 million. So I'm guessing $7 million is just what it costs to do the marketing and everything like that. And maybe there's a certain amount of fees for getting it into the theaters. I would imagine there's something like that. You know, the theaters are going to take their cut. I don't know if part of the $7 million is considered that. But it looks like this is going to be a successful re-release of Jaws, which is great and really great news for people that don't want to see the movie get remade, because Universal can just keep on making money. They can put it out every 5 to 10 years if they want to. And maybe not every 5 years, maybe about every 10 years or so, and make a little money. I'm guessing here, just based on the projection that we're seeing, you know, it is diminishing returns this week. Here we can take a look at the box office through yesterday, September 7th. And yeah, there's a little bit of a drop off there in the amount that it's bringing in, but right now it's at just under 14.4 worldwide. So I would imagine that Jaws, when all's said and done on this run within the next 10 days or so, I'm guessing it'll be somewhere around like 16 to 18 million worldwide, something like that, which is great news. Great news for my favorite movie of all time. And not only that, I caught it last night in 3D at my most local AMC, which is about 20 minutes away. And guys, I was the only person in the theater. It was amazing. It was so cool. I just, you know, reclined the seat back. I could just laugh and do whatever I wanted in the theater, And the 3D, so I didn't get to see it in like 4DX or anything like that. I don't even know if that's available in my area. Some people commented on the video I did just this last week covering the box office, and they said the 4DX was amazing because you sit in these seats that like vibrate and shake and all sorts of stuff, which has got to be incredible. But the 3D was really, really cool. It always takes me a few minutes to get used to the 3D when I put those glasses on. Once I was used to it, for the most part, it was just a great experience seeing more depth in the film, especially in the last act of the movie when they're on the Orca, and there's all sorts of like either ropes or cables or pieces of the ship that are in the foreground in front of the actors. It really brought some depth there. But I tell you what, guys, all of the in water scenes, whether it's the shark's perspective or even when Richard Dreyfuss as Matt Hooper dives into the water to check out Ben Gardner's boat, all the little like particles and stuff floating around in the water was really cool. There was a ton of depth there. And man, the shots where the camera is like kind of half in the water and bobbing up and down, that really felt like you were in the water. That was pretty damn awesome. And it was really cool to have that experience and not have anyone bugging me with their popcorn eating or chomping on nachos or anything like that. So I had a great time. I'm curious to know if you guys, whether you're in the live chat or if you're watching after the fact, I'm curious to know if you caught Jaws on the 50th anniversary re-release. And if you did, was it IMAX? Was it just the standard version? Did you catch it in 3D? Or were you one of the lucky few that got to see the 4DX version of the film, which I believe is 3D, and then you get to sit in that cool captain's chair that shakes you all about? So just curious to know what your experience is there with Jaws. Give me all your thoughts on the film. I'm very, very, just interested in knowing what you guys think. And if this is something that you were contributed to here, this 14.35 million so far, let me know in the live chat. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, and make sure that you got that notification bell hit, because we're going to be covering horror news pretty much nonstop, at least once a week here. If something big drops in the middle of the week, I will hop on and cover it as well. So make sure you got that notification bell hit and you won't miss a thing. All right, guys, I'm going to jump on over to you and see what you guys are saying. I'd imagine a bunch of people, there's like 40 some chats here. You guys are probably just saying what's up to each other. Right. Maybe something like that. Let me catch up, make sure I didn't miss saying hello to anyone. Oh, we got Cecil from the Horror Show channel in the house. What's happening? He says, sup, sexy. Ooh, nothing much. Just talking about our favorite movie. Cecil, did you catch this in the theater this time around? I mean, you've got some time. If you haven't already, you've got some time, but hopefully you're able to, get away if you can and check it out on the big screen. Let's see here. I need to hop in right after I download Discord. Hell yeah. And I double checked because I think I had a link in here that had expired. I updated the link and everything. It should be good to go. So if you click that link that's pinned in the chat or the one in the description, you should be able to get going with the Discord there right away. Jaws still making money at 50. Yeah. I looked at the whole box office to date, and it's still beating out a lot of newer movies. I had to see how it fared against that movie, The Ritual, with Dan Stevens and Al Pacino, that was so bad, and it just absolutely crushed that movie, which is brand new. So amazing to see that for Jaws. Yeah, Big Rod, Jaws is fire. That is absolutely correct. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone. Aaron says, I used to think Jaws was a bit overrated, but I saw it in the theater last week, and I love it more and more with every watch. Seeing it there made me appreciate it that much more. Yeah, it still looks incredible. Spielberg's camera placement, the cinematography, is it Bill Butler, I think, that did was the director of photography there. And of course, Verna Field's editing is great. The performances are, I mean, what can you say? There's not a bad performance in the whole thing. Even the lady that's like, 24 hours is like 3 weeks or whatever in the background. Great job there. Love that. Yeah, very impressive. I never seem to get sick of it. And You know, I watch it at least once a year. I think this year I've seen it 3 times. Yeah, 3 times because I watched it the day of the anniversary, watched it on the 4th of July, and then just saw it in the theater. Still doesn't get old for me. Still doesn't. We got Destiny Faulkner in the chat. What's happening, Des? One of our great Death Squad mods. Hope you are doing well. I mean, what about when it hits 75, Paula? I hope I'm still here on this earth, and I hope I can check it out in whatever crazy kind of way that they release it there. It'll be at the Sphere by that time, right? It'll be like the way that they did the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere, and they used a bunch of AI to fill in space and all that stuff. We're going to actually get to experience Jaws that way. Or maybe they'll do a cool thing where you can like cage dive while you watch the movie surrounded by sharks. That'd be pretty dope. How about that? 3D movies give me a headache, but they're so fun to watch. Yeah, I think that can happen for sure. I don't get that, but yeah, the first few minutes, my eyes are trying to like kind of make heads or tails with it. And then, you know, a handful of minutes in, I feel pretty relaxed. And there was a lot of that movie where they weren't being obnoxious with the 3D, but there were certain moments where I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like this is adding a new level to the experience that, you know, I had never had until then. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. My showing was just the standard film, but it was great. First time seeing it on the big screen. And that's really cool too. I have been fortunate enough to check it out on the big screen before, so I knew I wanted to see it in either IMAX or 3D or both if I could. It's not available on IMAX out here anymore, so I went with the 3D because I've never had that kind of experience before with the film. But yeah, it is, I mean, standard works just fine. We got Amanda in the chat. What's happening, Amanda? So good to see you. One of our great channel members. Mike's Film Fix got the Discord alert. Heck yeah, Mike. I'm pumped that that's what brought you over. That's another cool thing about being on the Discord, guys. If I drop a short or I drop a video or I create a live stream, it'll let you guys know there. So you'll get a little alert. And, you know, as I'm sure you guys can tell, sometimes, you know, if you're following me on Insta or something like that, I try to be good about posting when I'm going to stream and all that kind of stuff. But I've also gotten to the point where I'm like, you know, even when I don't, you guys still show up. So sometimes I just don't worry about it. I'm like, you know, it's going to be around 30 people kicking it, and we're going to have a good time no matter what. And the people who aren't showing up, I doubt a story on Instagram is going to make them come on out. Thank you so much for sharing that, Eli. Yeah, we got the Horror Show channel there for you guys to subscribe to if you haven't already. I am a team member over there at the Horror Show channel, and it's amazing content and so much content. So head on over there, especially if you're watching Alien Earth. I know a couple people were asking me about my thoughts on Alien Earth. Guys, I've reviewed the last 3 episodes with Cecil and Mahalo from the Horror Show channel, and I would imagine it's gonna at least be the 3 of us reviewing the next 3 episodes in the season as well. Every episode has been covered by the Horror Show channel, but I wasn't able to make it for those first couple reviews there. Okay, let's see here, and there we go. Amanda's back on her own account, and I guess what, Amanda, here in 5 days or so, you'll be able to sign up with a membership on the correct account there. I'll still consider you a member. I'm a nice guy that way. We got Blu-ray Addict in the house. What's happening, Blu-ray? We got Gory Tiger. How you doing, Gory? So good to see you. It'll be a Jaws OG and Jaws 34 or 3 and 4 double feature for its 75th anniversary. Maybe. I'm curious to know if Jaws 2 is going to get some love here in a few years, because it'll be 50 years for Jaws 2, and I quite like Jaws 2. So I wouldn't mind seeing that one in 3D as well. Let's see here. We got Brent Madison in the chat. What's happening, Brent? He's right there with a great white over his shoulder. Says Jaws 3D 50th was amazing. Hell yeah. So much fun, especially being the only person in the theater. So amazing there. Des says, I missed out on Jaws. Everyone around me got COVID. Oh, shit. That's still happening? Damn. But I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 2 at the Alamo. Oh, I'm so jealous. I really wish we need one of those here in the Phoenix area. We really do. It's a massive city. Come on out, Alamo Drafthouse. Come on out. Put a location here in the Phoenix area. let's friggin' go. Even if it's on the east side of the valley, I would still go out there for special events like A Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Even though, I think I've got Freddy's Revenge maybe like 5th in my ranking there out of that on that franchise, but I still enjoy it, for what it is. I love the interpretation of Freddy there in Freddy's Revenge for sure. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, we have a couple, I guess I'm calling these rants. Another sip of water there. So, guys, let me bring it on over here. Okay, so we all follow accounts on social media and they drop movie news or whatever. I mean, I cover news here on the channel. The thing is, though, can we trust online film news without sources? I'm seeing this all over the place. It's not just, in no way am I trying to call out this account here. They're called Buy Physical Media on Twitter. They've got a shitload of subscribers. What are we looking at? 66.9. So they're pretty much 67,000 followers on Twitter. But whenever I see stuff like this down here, let me scroll on down, this right here, 4K restoration. This is why Peter Jackson and Dead Alive are mentioned in the title or the description and the thumbnail and everything. So Buy Physical Media on Twitter says the 4K restoration of Dead Alive is coming to theaters in October. No link to a story, just the American cover. I know it's called Brain Dead everywhere else. Just the American cover of the film here. And I even left a comment where I was like, is there a story that you can link this to? I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. A couple months ago, we got an announcement that the 4K restoration was underway. So we have confirmation that it is being restored in 4K. However, I would be extremely surprised to see Dead Alive or Brain Dead hit the theaters. It is such a cult classic niche film, even for horror fans. I think there are a lot of horror fans that have not seen this movie. And I know Peter Jackson is a big time director and everything, but no one thinks about Dead Alive really when they think about him, except for us, like, hardcore die-hard horror nerds. Or like for me, this was my introduction to Peter Jackson. I saw Dead Alive when it was fresh on VHS back in it was like 95. That might have been the year it came out. Maybe it came out the year before, but it took a while for us to get it. I'm not sure, but it was on VHS. It was the day of my 8th grade commencement. So, very niche film. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've been seeing this lately where there will be a story shared and people start like spreading it like wildfire over social media that this is like now gospel, right? So even people that are commenting on this post here are like, oh my gosh, like finally, or whatever. But guys, if it really is hitting theaters in October and we don't know about it right now, we're over a week into September. I would be very, very shocked. I mean, we knew that the Jaws 50th anniversary was coming to theaters like 6 months ago, and that makes sense because it's Jaws. But even with like Day of the Dead, which is hitting select theaters for its 40th anniversary, this fall, this spooky season, and that isn't even the biggest film, but we've known about that for months. I think that was announced at the beginning of the summer or, end of spring, beginning of the summer. So when I see stuff like this, I'm just like, where's the link? That's like, why when I talk about this stuff on the channel here, I've usually got an article to reference because I want to make sure that at least it's being reported by a reputable outlet. And this isn't the only example here. There's another, and again, I'm not trying to call these people out. I know it probably seems like I'm doing that, but it's more of a question for you guys in the live chat and for you folks watching after the fact. Let me know what you think in the comments. There's another account here, Movies of Scary. They post all sorts of stuff here. Like there's this is on Instagram. Steven Spielberg really wanted to Steven Spielberg really wanted to direct a Call of Duty movie. Like, where's they don't even say in the picture like where the news is coming from. It could be true, it could not be true, I'm just sort of curious as to what you guys think about this stuff. I mean, this account here on Instagram has 636,000 followers, not following anyone. And they even have a post that was about I think it was just a few days ago, they posted about that we're definitely getting a Friday the 13th video game and movie that are in the works. Now, that was reported at San Diego Comic-Con from the Jason Universe people. But then it sounds like from what Vincent DeSanti said, you know, after he had been at the premiere for Sweet Revenge, that maybe that really wasn't in the works or wasn't hitting the ground running the way that we were led to believe. So I'm just curious to know what you guys think. Can we trust online film news without sources? Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys just take it all with a grain of salt until you see one of the filmmakers talking about it? I don't know. I like to wait until it's like Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Bloody Disgusting, just one of these outlets that, you know, actually has a connection with the, you know, the source that could confirm or that would release this kind of info. So I'm just curious to know what you guys think. And especially when it comes to this one for Dead Alive, where I'm just like, you could have at least dropped a link there, right? Or is this just for clicks and likes and followship, if that's even a word? I don't know. I'm not trying to like rain on anyone's parade or shit in anyone's cereal or anything like that. But I am just very curious to know what you guys think. So let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think will dig this kind of content, because we will be covering horror news from all over the place. And you know what? We're going to provide sources. How about that? So maybe I won't get all the scoops in the world. I don't really care about the scoops. What I care about is sharing confirmed news with you guys and getting excited about it as horror fans. And yeah, so hit that notification bell and you won't miss a thing. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying about all this. I'm curious to know. Very, very curious. Let's see. Okay, I think I've scrolled back to the right spot here. We got A-Troll Campbell in the house, one of our great channel members. How you doing? Welcome on in. Great to see you. I meant Jaws 34, kind of a back to the... Oh, yeah, I think it was Jaws 19, right? Yeah. It'll be way past number 19 by then. Love it. This Scream 7 teaser coming out during the VMAs. That's another good one, Dean. Oh, I wish I had included that. Yeah, there was talk about Drew Barrymore is going to, you know, announce or show the Scream 7 trailer at the VMAs. Why would they ever debut a Scream trailer at the VMAs? I have no idea why they would do that, unless Spyglass were connected with MTV in some sort of way. And then, yeah, I've even heard people were like, well, no, I heard it's going to actually come out on the 9th of September, so we might be getting it tomorrow. That could be true. I haven't seen anything to confirm this. So how about this, guys? When the Scream 7 trailer drops, we will watch it here. We will cover it. And I'm not going to sit there and speculate on an exact date. However, I have said before, and even my buddy Nick from the Lost River Drive-In thinks the very same thing. You know, we're thinking Scream 7 trailer drops middle of October. Gosh, can I even talk? We're thinking the Scream 7 trailer is going to drop middle of October with the Black Phone 2. Maybe it'll hit the internet, you know, a couple days before that. But as far as seeing it in the theater, I'm thinking Black Phone 2, maybe a little bit earlier. Who knows? But I'm thinking October teaser, December full trailer, maybe with Silent Night, Deadly Night. And then, of course, the film is going to be released in, I believe, the middle to late February. What is it? February 17th or something like that. But yeah, all of that talk, Dean. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Let's see here. What else do we got? Dead Alive and Bad Taste. Yeah, those are the OGs. Yeah. Bad Taste is an interesting one for sure. Aaron says, yeah, I hate it when fake movie news or any fake news is spread. It'll probably always be a thing, but it's good to question it and fight it. Yeah, and you know, even with like regular news, usually people do have some sort of article, even if it ends up being incorrect or not true or whatever. Usually people are sharing something. I think with a lot of the movie news, And especially when it comes to us horror fans, just because we want to believe these sorts of things about the franchises or movies that we love, right? So I think it is, in a way, it's sort of taking advantage of our fandom. And we're going to get into a bigger issue with taking advantage of fandom right after this. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, look, if I do a Google search, and like I did with Dead Alive here, I did a Google search just to see about it hitting theaters. I tried a few different searches. The last news I could find was like 2 months ago when they first announced that the restoration for the 4K was being worked on. That was the most recent news I could find. So maybe the people here at Buy Physical Media, they very well could have a connection that I don't know about. I don't know them personally. And again, I'm not trying to, call them out or drag their name or anything like that. I've just, in my comment, I was very, friendly about it. I was just like, hey, do you have like a link with a source? Because this would be really cool, but I'm just not seeing anything about it. Like, that's all, just link something, even if it's just a quote from Peter Jackson or whoever's working on it. But I would be shocked if that movie hit the theaters. I mean, I would be shocked even if it only hit the theaters in like New Zealand. I would be surprised to hear that news. So I don't know. Until a page develops a track record of credible info, I say take their news/rumors with a big grain of salt. Yeah, and that's why here on the channel, I just don't cover something, with any certainty until I really can point you guys and literally show the source on the screen, Erica says the Steven Spielberg one is true. I read about it the other day. Activision didn't want to give him the full rights to it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is Spielberg is going to want a lot of control, and rightly so. Yeah. Shot by Shot says, fuck Friday the 13th. Give me a damn Nightmare on Elm Street film. That's probably a little further away. Maybe within the next 10 years, we may get a little Nightmare film. But, hey, Black Phone 2 looks a lot like Nightmare. So there it is. Aaron says, I take it with a grain of salt until it's shared by a reputable source or a link with a reputable source. There you go. That's the way to do it. Tara says, I heard on Killjoy Jake about the Friday the 13th remake had a sequel that was unmade. Yeah, they were going to do, I think, some sort of found footage winter film was the one that they were talking about. As far as I know, I don't think it ever went past like the first version of the script, but I've heard about that one for sure. Yeah. What's happening? We got Dave Vanderhoff in the chat, the gentleman that made the amazing Davey Death Ray Tombstone back there. And I saw Daniel from the Cobwebs channel, one of my favorite channels out there, recently got a tombstone as well. Dave does amazing work. Thank you so much, Dave. I love that tombstone back there. And welcome on in, brother. Buster Rhymes is going to be Ghostface. Maybe. All right, Eli, take care, and we'll see you when you return, brother man. Davey, the link is too long to send here, so I sent it in Discord and tagged you. The story of why Steven Spielberg isn't getting the Call of Duty movie. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like you could just like even put the source that you got it from on these pages. I mean, over 600,000 followers on Instagram, so whatever they're doing is working. I guess for me as a consumer of news, when I see stuff like that, I'm just like, you can't even say where the report came from. I mean, that seems to be pretty easy. Yeah, guys, make sure you sub on over to Killjoy Jake's channel. Jake's got a great voice. He's covering all that Scream 7 stuff. He's a young cat, so he's really on top of all the, Terrifier stuff and, that the newer horror that is a bit more gory, a bit more, I don't know if I want to say out there, but definitely, he's a younger guy. He's got his ear to the ground for that generation, and he's been on the channel over here. I'm a huge fan of his channel. Yeah, Jake is great, man. Jake's awesome. Let's see what else we got. Dean says Black Phone 2 looks great, but I had to skip that second trailer. The first one was enough. Yeah, it is a really good trailer though, Dean. I don't think it spoils too much, but I get it. If I didn't cover that stuff on the channel, I wouldn't be watching those trailers. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip and then we'll move on to our next little item here. Oh yeah, guys, San Pellegrino water, little squirt of lime juice, a little squirt of lemon juice. There it is. Okay, let's get on to this one here. This has got me kind of Mm. Guys, we sort of talked about this last week on Hit the Bricks. It was Lee from Drum Dums, myself, and Matt Facci stepped in for Nick because Nick was on a family or just returning from a family vacation. But this is my next little kind of rant thing. Like we're sort of being taken advantage of, I think, a little bit by these online accounts that present this news without any sources and kind of get our hopes up and everything. But this is a totally different ball of wax here. Are physical media creators exploiting horror fans? And maybe even they're exploiting just physical media collectors in general? Because, we've got this recent example here of the Halloween 1 through 5 Steelbook collection from Imprint Films. Now, last week it was, hey, this thing is limited to 1,000 copies. The presentation on the Steelbook collection is really, really cool. Like, it comes in this amazing jack-o'-lantern, just like the jack-o'-lantern from the first film and all of that. The Steelbooks are beautiful. Of course they are. But it's not even half of the films in the franchise. And they limit it to 1,000 copies. They sell out. And then just this morning, I saw something about them. They're going to print another 1,000. So it'll be 2,000. That's where they say they're going to cap it off at. And I get it. Like, they're creating exclusivity. They're creating a collector's item that will be worth more money than what they're selling it for. I'm sure of that. But again, it's not even half of the franchise. You're not even getting a complete Halloween collection, and it's so limited. And at some point, it just starts to feel like they're taking advantage. And, more power to the people that went out and ordered it. If you're getting one, this is not a comment on you as a collector. It's none of my business what you end up collecting. That's all up to you. But again, as just a fan of horror and a fan of physical media in general, I don't go out there and buy every single thing or anything like that. But I'm like, well, this is them basically seeing if in 6 months to a year, maybe next fall, they announce the rest of the movies and do a totally different collection. And then you're going to have these 2 very expensive limited collections to have the complete Halloween series. And it just seems like they couldn't have figured out a way to get all of the movies, or they just want people to double dip to get the whole collection and buy from them twice. I don't know. I have a tough time understanding this stuff, or even maybe it's just about building the FOMO and everything like that. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comments and let me know, because guys, it's not only that. There's this one that I just saw on Bloody Disgusting today from John Squires, that Terrifier is releasing a Blu-ray collection only including the Terrifier sequels and the Art Attack documentary. So, yet again, Art's Terror Pack Blu-ray collection will include Terrifier sequels plus Art Attack documentary. It does not include the first Terrifier film. And maybe that's because it's not part of the whole Cineverse thing, or, I'd imagine there's some sort of rights kind of thing there. But again, this is a series that only has 3 movies so far. They're already planning the 4th one. So it wouldn't even be a completionist kind of thing, in the next year and a half, whenever Terrifier 4 comes out. But even as it stands right now, September 8th, 2025, they can't even include all of the films in the franchise in this collection. So just more food for thought on whether or not we as horror fans are being taken advantage of. I feel like we sort of are. I'm not trying to take some sort of hardline stance or anything like that and be like, how dare these people do this? It's a free market. They can do whatever they want. And again, as collectors, we can choose to purchase these things or choose not to. But I think it's an interesting question for us to ask and think about as consumers. Are we being led to just get every little thing that comes out? Should we be more picky, choosy about what we purchase? Should we sort of, demand more from these people that put these releases out? I don't know. I know that Terrifier has a huge fan base, and I have no doubt that this thing is going to sell really, really well. But it's going to be incomplete. And we can jump into the article and read a little bit here. So again, this one comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. Got that great image there. A triple Art the Clown little collage there. And the article says, while Art the Clown terrorizes Halloween Horror Nights through the next 2 months, the Terrifier sequels are soon making their return to Blu-ray with a special bonus treat. Bloody Disgusting's parent company, Cineverse, will release the Arts Terror Pack Collector's Edition Blu-ray on October 7th, featuring Damien Leone's Terrifier 2 and Terrifier 3. And that's not all. Arts Terror Pack will also include the physical media debut of Art Attack, the dissection of Terrifier 3, a 98-minute documentary that premiered on Screenbox last year. The Art Attack documentary explores Art the Clown's cultural impact with exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes footage from the record-breaking slasher franchise. Providing a deep dive into how the Terrifier 3 team brought various brutal kills and bloody effects to life in the latest slasher entry, the documentary features interviews with director Damien Leone, producer Phil Falcone, and various cast members, along with exclusive footage from the set of the production that you have definitely never seen before. So it's going to include Terrifier 2 with behind the scenes, extended Boo Crew interview, director commentary, fan art. Terrifier 3's got the making of, the eulogy log, the bloody still collection, and there we go. We've got the image here. I'm going to bring that up and put that on the screen there for you. So yeah, here we go. Collector's Edition, Arts Terror Pack. And this is where I was like, wait, it doesn't include the first movie. I went back to the article and I was like, I got to talk about this. I have to talk about this because, again, it might be a rights issue, which is why they don't have the first film on there. Fair enough. I just want to know from you guys, whether you're watching live or watching after the fact, do you feel like these physical media companies are maybe taking advantage a little bit? Let me know your thoughts down below. And guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. We cover all sorts of horror news here on the Davey Death Ray channel. So you're going to want to make sure you are subscribed and got that notification bell hit so you don't miss a thing. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying now that I've ranted and raved. Okay, all right. Really having to scroll up here. I love it. I love it. Okay. He's got a great voice and he's good looking. Everything you need from a horror YouTuber. That's right. I need to get on more streams with Jake. I would love to. I've had him on the channel. I'm trying to remember because I'm always jumping all over the place. I've not been over there on his channel. I know he doesn't usually, he doesn't have guests that often. But Jake, if you're out there, brother, let's do a little something this spooky season, huh? With our voices and our faces, you can't go wrong, right? Shot by shot, right? Let's see here. Dean says it looked good from the few snippets I saw. Oh, the black phone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair, dude. If you just want to wait and see it for yourself fresh, like, I totally get it as far as trailers go and all that kind of stuff. Dean's got a lot to say on this imprint set. Dean, are you going to cover it on your channel, or can you share a little bit here with us right now? We got Sith Lord Earn in the house. What's happening, Sith Lord? Hope you are doing well. Shot by Shot says, I've only seen the first Halloween film, and it was kind of mid. Well, I disagree, but I get it. I don't know how old you are, Shot by Shot, or how old you were when you saw that movie, but certainly, it is almost 50 years old. So I think whenever I watch something that's really old, like whether it's the old Universal films like Dracula, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I love that Frederick March, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I try to put myself in that time. Right? Even something like Jaws. Like, I still think Jaws looks great, but if you're in your 20s or something now and you've never seen Jaws and you watch it for the first time, yeah, maybe it doesn't look as good, just, relatively speaking, compared to what you're used to seeing. Like, that's totally fair. And I think when it comes to the original Halloween, that it's all done with so much purpose, the fact that it's a little bit slower. I think to me, it feels more and more realistic every time I watch it. It just seems like this is the way real serial killers operate. And I think that what John Carpenter's going for in the original Halloween, what he and Deborah Hill and the whole crew went for, is let's make a Hitchcockian kind of movie. You know, slashers didn't really exist then. Like, I don't think the term existed. So yeah, maybe you're pulling influence from Psycho, Peeping Tom, Black Christmas. Those are the three that I think of that you could, you know, that they could have pulled influence from. Excuse me, drinking the fizzy water, it makes you burp. And yeah, I mean, if you're watching Halloween thinking that it's going to feel even like the 80s slashers, because they sort of like ramped it up and took it up a notch, or if you think it's going to compare to something like Terrifier or even the, you know, any of the Scream movies or anything like that, it's pretty different. You know, it's from the late 70s and it's going to feel like it. So I get it. I get the criticism. And I still think it's, you know, it's one of my favorites. But I hear you. Not everyone has to agree with my opinion, certainly. Ashton didn't watch the trailer for the Black Phone. Oh, you know, and I had to take it out. I showed it on a live stream last week, and Universal did not appreciate that. So I had to end up snipping it out of that live stream later because they wanted, I wasn't going to get struck with anything, but they wanted to demonetize it. So there you go. Yeah, and that's fair too, Aaron. Even if you guys are on a stream and I show a trailer, if you want to, you know, pop out for a second, I totally get it. How many more 4K or Blu-ray releases of Halloween do we really need? Well, that's a question for the collectors, and that's another reason why I think that maybe there's some advantage being taken here of people. Let's see what else we got. Tara says people are pirating movies for homemade physical media movies. It's wrong. Maybe a little bit. I think a lot of people are purchasing. I mean, these things are selling out, Tara. So when it comes to the collector's editions, they are, anybody that's pirating like those, they still sold out. So I would imagine that all 2,000 copies of the Halloween collection are all gone right now. Blu-ray says, I have the 10 disc Scream Factory Blu-ray collection and I have the Scream Factory 4Ks. I don't think I'll ever need to buy Halloween again. There you go. Yeah, unless they put Rob's films on 4K. Or if they release Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 with the documentary, that would be really nice, for sure. There's a lot of licensing hoops that go into sets like these, mainly with 6 to 8 owned by Miramax, and they don't allow labels to release them individually. Okay. So there is a little bit of a rights issue there. Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. Or maybe more like a jerk for calling it into question. But Aaron says that was a shady way to release that. Limit it to an unreasonably low number, creating fan frenzy, and then releasing another limited run. They should have made it like 7,000 in the first place. They would have sold all 7,000. Yeah, I don't know why. You'd think that they would just sort of like put it up for a pre-order and then make them to order, you know? I want to see the Art Attack documentary and I don't got Screambox. Well, there you go. I bought the Art Attack set from Umbrella on pre-order back when it was first coming out. So, and that comes with, does that come with everything, Erica? The Art Attack set? Because I remember seeing that come out. That's different than this one, correct? I believe so. Paid $145, but didn't it come with a whole shitload of, like, I think I remember seeing that, and it was a big spread there. I think it was a pretty big spread. Let's see what else we got going on here. Ben Grimm, one of our great channel members, jumps in and says, I'm definitely waiting until the art movies are over before I buy a set. Yeah, they're going to release them. Like once 4 is out, you're going to see the whole entire set come out for sure. I refuse to FOMO collect. Yeah, I'm the same way. And regardless of the physical media channels, you know, making me feel like I really am missing out, I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it, damn it. Let's see what else we got going on here. When does this release? The Terrifier set, October 7th is what the article said there. Yeah, man, join us. Jump on over there. It's a lot of fun in the Discord. Shot by Shot is Art's biggest fan. There you are. We got Todd Bound in the chat. What's happening? One of our great channel members. Great to see you, Todd. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm about to turn 15 and I watched it a few months ago and I just don't like Michael Myers. Fair enough, man. He is not for everyone. My buddy Cecil from the Horror Show channel, who had popped in earlier, he's not a big Michael fan. He's a big Freddy and Chucky guy. He likes killers with personality, you know? You are very fashionably late. How about that? How about that, Todd? And we got Jeff Overing, another one of our great channel members in the house. How are you doing, Jeff? So good to see you. All right. Leonia Chanel is in the chat. What's happening? Welcome on in. The picture looks familiar. Have you been here before? If so, welcome back in. If not, welcome. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. Hopefully you have a great time. Everybody make every new person or every returning person feel so welcome. We got Jay Beach in the house. What's happening, Jay? So great to see you. Imprint is an Australian label. I wonder if Australia has that many releases or sets of Halloween. Well, and I guess, they are marketing it to everyone. So yeah, I think they could have done 7,000. They would have sold every single one. There are plenty of Halloween fans all over the world, for sure. JG Michael says, I only just popped in. Well, welcome on in. Another one of our great channel members. Hope you're doing well. We got Shay Rance in the house. What's happening, Shay? So good to see ya. Nightmare Films is here. Says, how's it going? First time here. Well, welcome. You're kicking it with the Death Squad. Everyone make Nightmare Films. Nightmare Files. Everyone make Nightmare Files feel very, very welcome. Okay, looks like we're all caught up. Yes, Erica is all over the place, and she is amazing. It is almost, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and declare it. It is fall. It's fall. We got the Davy Death Ray spooky season logo above the QR code there. Football has started. It is officially fall. How about that? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and jump on to the next little news story here. There we are. Okay. So guys, we are going to get into a couple trailers, so avert your eyes if you don't want to see a couple trailers, okay? We're going to get into the Shelby Oaks second trailer that just dropped the other day. I'm going to have a sip of water and then we'll get going. All right, let's see here. Okay, guys, so we got a second trailer for the upcoming Chris Stuckmann film, Shelby Oaks, which is releasing October 3rd this year, 2025. And I'm really rooting for Stuckmann on this one. I'm not the biggest fan of the YouTube channel, just to editorialize a little bit. But I love seeing somebody that started out as a YouTube content creator, aspiring filmmaker, actually get their movie in the theater, raised a bunch of money through crowdfunding and then got Mike Flanagan on board, all that great stuff. The movie looks really good, and I'm hoping the story is satisfying to match the look of the film. But we got a brand new trailer here, or at least a few days old, the trailer, and we are going to check that out. But let's jump into the article here by Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting. We got a brand new image there that is pretty haunting. Very overexposed, but that adds to the haunting look of it all. So let's see what we got. The article says, you're being given the chance to touch greatness with a new poster for Shelby Oaks. Written and directed by YouTube film critic Chris Stuckmann, the supernatural horror film hits theaters on October 3rd from Neon. Shelby Oaks is about missing paranormal investigators, the dark legacy they uncovered, and the far-reaching effects their investigation has as Mia searches for her sister Riley, the lead paranormal investigator, 12 years later. As Mia finds new and disturbing leads related to Riley's disappearance, she uncovers evidence of a hidden supernatural evil dating all the way back to their childhood. And yeah, Shelby Oaks, it says here, is the highest funded horror film in Kickstarter history with over 1.3 million raised. Following the campaign, Mike Flanagan joined the project as an executive producer via his Intrepid Pictures. And let's take a look at this red band trailer. Hopefully we don't get in trouble. There are elements from the original trailer here, but there's some new stuff as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the music here and we will check the trailer out. How about it, guys? And then I will show off the cool poster here. So let's just jump into this red band trailer, shall we? Oh my goodness.
Do you need help?
She finally let me go.
Welcome back to the Paranormal Paranoids. Today we're taking our first foray into the abandoned town of Shelby Oaks.
I've been searching for Riley for the last 12 years. I know my sister's not dead.
Bodies were found outside of Shelby Oaks. Riley Brennan is still missing.
The last night I saw her, she said she saw a man standing in her window, staring at her. Yeah. You live alone out here? Nope. Where is my sister? Riley.
All right. Yeah. I saw, let's see here. Yeah, Shot by Shot says, I swear this is the first trailer. It's very similar. There's just a few things in there that it looks like they added. Let's bring up that poster here. And there we go. We will pop that up as we chit chat here. This one, I'm right there with you guys. I see some people in the chat talking about, even if you're not the biggest fan of Stuckmann's YouTube channel, that this is looking good to you. And I'm right there with you. I think that this is pretty interesting. I am not the hugest found footage guy, but I do like when you can mix those elements in with a straightforward narrative. I do think that can be more compelling. I'm not really into the 100% found footage kind of thing. But this is certainly blending the two. And we do have, the poster there is pretty striking. It's tough to really, we don't know exactly who that is. I'm guessing that could be Riley, imprisoned there on the bloody mattress. Nice little disturbing image there. But yeah, I think Shelby Oaks, the more I think about it and the more I look at the slate of films coming up here, I'm like, well, Good Boy and Shelby Oaks are releasing on the 3rd of October. I'm interested in seeing both of those. And and then the Black Phone 2 as far as October releases go. Very much looking forward to them. Again, I hope that this one succeeds. I think it could only help other aspiring filmmakers out there who are content creators now, just to show that it can be done, and for studios to get a little more involved and take some more chances. The Filippo brothers have had 2 very successful horror films in Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. So, if that trend continues with Shelby Oaks, we could see some more of this kind of stuff, coming up in the future. So I am looking forward to this one. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comment section down below. Let me know your thoughts on Shelby Oaks, on content creators making movies, whatever you got, put it all in there. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share the channel with someone who you think digs this kind of content, because we're going to cover all sorts of horror movie news here, guys. So make sure you are subscribed and have that notification bell hit so you don't miss a thing. Okay, let's see what you guys got over here. Yeah, Shot by Shot says his YouTube channel is kind of bland, but I hope this is good. Yeah. I'm right there with you, Ashton. Yeah. It does, and it's, again, a really nice blend of the two, right? Of the straightforward narrative and the found footage stuff. Yeah, I think it's mostly the same, but I think that some of those shots, they just show a little more blood in these shots, which is why they're calling it the Red Man. Or maybe it is the same one, and I totally fucked up. Maybe I did. I have been known to fuck up from time to time, so it is quite possible they're shot by shot. Fight the Good Fight says, hey, Davey, I just watched Hell House LLC 1 and 2 last night. They were great. Can't wait to watch the other two. Have you seen them? I've only seen the first one. I thought it was okay. Found footage is tough for me, Fight the Good Fight. I didn't really find it that scary. Like I don't know. I feel like a jerk, but I'm like, oh, so the clown was looking one way, and then when the camera went back, the clown's looking another way. I don't know. And I guess those aren't really the scariest moments anyways. I think the one thing with like the weird chick, like, you know, in the guy's bedroom is probably the scariest moment in Hell House LLC, but maybe I should watch the other ones and see what I think about the whole, you know, franchise, because I know they've got that new one out now. That was Shelby Oaks there, Brett. Yeah. Oh, you guys are already answering them. How about that? Leonia says, this looks terrifying. Yeah, it looks really solid. I mean, the production design, the set design, the value of it all looks, I mean, it looks so legit, and rightly so. I mean, they raised a bunch of money and then got Neon involved and Mike Flanagan, so they're able to put more money into it. So, yeah, this is all really good news here. Jamie says, YouTube gave me 0 notifications that you were on. They need to get it together. Yeah, admittedly, I put the stream together about 6 hours ago, Jamie, so maybe it just wasn't quick on the uptake there. But hey, you know me, I go live too much for my own good, and sometimes I jump in out of nowhere. That's for me, Aaron, that's what I'll be doing. Double feature on those with the AMC A-list for sure. Absolutely. I've not seen anything on that yet, Todd. I haven't checked in probably since the last time you asked. So I haven't seen any news on that. I think that's coming up here next month, so I need to check in on it for sure. Yeah, this looks cool. She don't need to be going into the woods. The woods are scary, people. Scary stuff. Slightly different, mainly the blood shots. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brett likes the Hell House LLC series. I know Dean is a big fan as well. That's why I always just try to, you know, present it with the caveat that I'm not the biggest found footage guy. So again, not trying to rain on anyone's parade or anything like that. Can't believe they got Keith David and Derek Mears in this. Yeah, and Keith David's been in since the very beginning, I think, since they started production. And then Derek Mears, I believe they brought him in once Neon and Flanagan and Intrepid Pictures got involved. I think the clown gag itself is scary in Hell House LLC, but what sells it is how genuinely terrified the character acts when he sees it. Yeah, the acting was fine, for sure. Okay, let's get into another trailer. This is one that I have not seen yet, guys. So this is for Dust Bunny with Mads Mikkelsen, and it's Brian Fuller's directorial debut. So let's check this out. Have a sip of water, and then we'll get going. All right, guys, so just earlier today, we got a trailer for this film called Dust Bunny with Mads Mikkelsen hunting monsters in Hannibal creator Brian Fuller's directorial debut. How about that? I had no idea that this was his first feature film because I see this guy's name all over the place. You know, he was the original showrunner for the Crystal Lake series, and then that all changed and it went over to Brad Caleb Kane. But here he is with Mads Mikkelsen, who's a fantastic actor. I have not yet watched this trailer, so this is going to be a genuine first blush reaction for me. So we'll probably watch this one with the sound on, run it without, and just take another look and chit chat about it. But this one comes to us by way of Alex DiVincenzo over at Bloody Disgusting. Guys, I'm curious to know if you're watching this live, let me know your thoughts on this trailer. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Give me your thoughts on the Dust Bunny trailer. Now let's go ahead and read the article and check out the teaser here. Nice little shot there. And the article says, a 10-year-old girl joins forces with her hitman neighbor to confront each other's monsters in the trailer for Dust Bunny. The film premieres tomorrow night at the Toronto International Film Festival before hitting theaters on December 5th via Lionsgate and roadside attractions. Hannibal and Pushing Daisies creator Brian Fuller makes his feature directorial debut on the fantastical and wickedly inventive horror feature. The synopsis here says that 10-year-old Aurora has a mysterious neighbor who kills real-life monsters. He's a hitman for hire, so when Aurora needs help killing the monster she believes ate her entire family, she procures his services. Suspecting that her parents may have fallen victim to assassins gunning for him, Aurora's neighbor guiltily takes the job. Now, to protect her, he'll need to battle an onslaught of assassins and accept that some monsters are real. All right, let's jump on in and check this out. We got Sophie Sloane is in this film. She must be young Aurora there. And Sigourney Weaver. All right, I dig Sigourney Weaver as a performer, and she's great. So let's see what this looks like. I mean, really, for December, up until this point, I was only really looking forward to Silent Night, Deadly Night, the remake with Rowan Campbell, directed by Mike P. Nelson. But who knows? Maybe Dust Bunny will add or be added to that list. So let's go ahead and check this trailer out. I'm going to go ahead and mute the music here if I can get my web browser to behave with me. All right, there we go. And mute that. Okay, now let's check out the trailer.
What did you see?
A monster. Under my bed.
What do your parents think about monsters? Do they believe in them?
Did you know? Is that enough to kill a monster?
What makes you think I kill monsters?
You seem like you killed all it thinks.
Do you believe in monsters?
You're a monster. She believe in you.
A monster didn't need your parents. Those were men. They came to kill me. Why would a monster eat your family? You seen something you shouldn't have seen?
I know it's real.
You think you know?
You think you know.
Her being here won't stop them. They will go right through her.
You seem triggered. You got the girl?
I got the gun.
All right. Okay. Wow. That was, first time seeing that. I didn't know what to expect. I really had only seen that still image and the paused image of like the poster or whatever. Let's go ahead and watch that back without the sound. This looks a lot more fantastic than I thought it would, even though they say that there in the description on the article. But this looks very comic booky, very like a surreal, hyper stylized. At the beginning here, I really loved the way that they matched up the soundtrack and the sound design with the edits here on the trailer. That's kind of beside the point. It just makes for a more engaging trailer, I think, with like the rhythm of everything. Performance looks really great here from little Aurora, or what is it, Sophia. Mads looks great. David Dastmalchian. I mean, I'll take all the David Dastmalchian you got. But man, some of this stuff, like some of these shots here, they're little kind of Star Wars-y, like, I don't know. You got the halo, of course, like the religious imagery there with the halos. The halo comes back over Mads' head at one point as well. But this has got this, the slow-mo there. it sort of reminds me of these movies that blend like the comic book with the film, even, and then you have these beautiful landscapes. It's very interesting the way they're mixing all of this. Like, this has got kind of a Blade Runner vibe when they're walking around the little market area with all the neons, but it's very dark. And then you've got this beautiful, fields that they're driving through. This is interesting, and it is just a teaser. It's tough for me to tell if it's something that I'm really into, but I love the performers that they've got here. Big fan of Mads Sigourney and David Dasmalchian, of course. So it'll kind of hinge on, little Sophie's performance there, and if the surreal kind of feel and look of the film, this word is going to sound bad when I say it. Right now it's looking kind of inconsistent because it sort of is looking all over the place. However, if it is about whether monsters are imaginary or real, then maybe that's all part of the intent of the film, and the visuals are supposed to match the storytelling aspect of it. So the heightened surrealism is just used to sell the narrative piece, which could very well be the case here. But I am curious to know what you guys are thinking. For those of you in the live chat that stuck around and watched the trailer, let me know your thoughts in the live chat. If you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. And make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, because we cover horror news here on the channel all the time, and I want to make sure that you don't miss a thing. Okay, guys, I'm curious to know what you all are thinking about this one. Let's see what we got. Erica likes Mads. Yes. Mads is always solid. The Hannibal show is really good. See, I never saw the Hannibal show. But I've heard good things about Brian Fuller's work. Yeah, I just heard about it this morning, shot by shot. So it's something brand new here. Todd says fun concept. I agree. It even a little bit, and I don't know if this is good, or like a little bit of Sucker Punch kind of vibe with just the way, like the painted backgrounds and everything. So it's got a really interesting look for sure. And let me just bring that up as we, continue to talk about it. I want to pet the title because it's fluffy. Haven't watched this yet? Well, now you have. Jamie says this looks right up my alley. Colorful, great cinematography, a weird plot. I'm sold. And Jamie, I'm just now realizing when you came in and you're like, YouTube didn't notify me. I didn't even say hello. Guys, this is Jamie Hart, the OG Death Squad mod, one of our great channel members, and our mama mod here on the Davey Death Ray channel. Jamie, my parents ordered a bunch of stuff from the Fourth Wall shop, and my mom got the I Saw That in the Theater t-shirt and the I Saw That in the Theater mug. So she's repping your gear over there at the Conway house. Aaron says, meh. It looks a little more action-y than what I typically like when horror elements are involved. Also, I could be wrong. It looks too CGI heavy for my taste. It definitely has that kind of look. And yeah, I mean, it's coming out in December. Maybe they can, they're going to continue to work on all of the visuals and everything. So it could look a little bit better by the time it's released and everything. But yeah, it looks like a different kind of movie. I'm curious to know if it'll be tonally consistent. Because sometimes I go into a movie and I'm ready for it, and then the tone just kind of throws me for a loop. Baz Luhrmann meets Del Toro. I can definitely see that vibe, especially the Del Toro. Yeah, I think you're pretty spot on there, Jamie. Guardians of the Galaxy meets John Wick. I can see that too. Looks good, but I like Mads, so I'll watch it anyways. Yeah, I mean, his voice is amazing. Yeah. I think I might want to check it out at some point, but it's not a theater watch for me. That makes sense. Yeah. Just about to get to that, Gaz. Welcome back in. And Gaz, I think your brother was in here the other day. I didn't even know that we've got two of the Hearsome brothers. For some reason, I thought it was you, just with a different name or different screen name or whatever. But yeah, hope you're doing well, bud. Great to have you join us here. And we are going to talk about the Neil Marshall, discussing a possible prequel for The Descent. We're going to get into that here next. Thank you so much for the reminder, Eli. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. And guys, membership, just 99 cents a month for channel membership. And now that we have the Discord going, sorry, I have an itchy nose. Now that we have the Discord going, we are doing exclusive streams for the members over there where we do watch parties. We actually can put the movie on the screen and everything like that. And just yesterday, we did a mixtape party. So a handful of us were in there just rocking out and doing a round robin with song selection. It was really fun. So this is, if you have been a little sheepish about channel membership, I think it's really starting to, get to the point where you're going to get your value, especially if you're just on that bottom rung, that 99 cents a month. Plenty of value there for that, for sure. If I find the time, I should watch Hannibal. All right. Maybe, I guess I could always, I don't watch a lot of TV, Erica, but I could just binge that. Because it's probably just 2 or 3 seasons or something like that. Something like that. Yeah, don't forget to do that, Jay. Come on. Yeah, Erica's going to get after you with that knife. So you got to look out. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the last little bit of news here, and then we can just kick it for a bit. Wow, we are at almost an hour and a half, and I've actually been on task today. How about it? I'm going to check the Monday Night Football game. Oh my gosh, Minnesota came back? Holy cow. 9 seconds left in the fourth. Minnesota's winning 27-24. This has been a wild week 1 of the NFL, folks. That has nothing to do with The Descent or Dust Bunny or any of that. So let's go ahead and jump on over here. Sorry, guys. I'm a nerd about so many things. It's true. I'm a big movie nerd, specifically horror, comedy. I love the classics. I'm a big music nerd, punk rock, metal, rock and roll, soul, all that kind of stuff. And I'm a big sports nut too. So I'm a little all over the place. It is true. It's very true. Okay, let me just make sure everything's looking good over here. Okay, make sure I'm not missing any of these. Well, the thing is, Paula, I can do watch parties over here, but I can't show the movie. So, it's okay doing watch parties on YouTube, but they don't allow you to show the movies. So over on Discord, which is free, you can sign up for a Discord, account and log in, and you can join us over there for free. And we will do public watch parties over there. Even the other night, I'll always put the super chat goal up there for, like a bonus public watch party for everyone. The channel members will get watch parties and mixtape parties, no matter what. But even the other night, Erica wanted to watch a movie. So she put on the Black Phone 2. And then a couple nights after that, she put on Scary Movie or Black Phone 2. She put on the Black Phone. No, Erica doesn't have access to the Black Phone 2. Not yet. So we watched the Black Phone the other night. Leanna joined us, and I think it was her first time watching it. And then just the other night, Erica showed Scary Movie 2. So I've sort of given her the freedom to just kind of use the Discord for that if she wants to do a public, watch party of her own. And then I can pop in and say what's up or whatever. Awesome. So Gaz, I'm curious to know, what's your favorite slasher franchise or your favorite horror movie franchise? And what's your brother's favorite? Very, very curious to know. Okay, let's, yeah. Although I may be able to watch, the Horror Show channel got approved for Fantastic Fest. Some of those movies are available. So I'd have to go over to Cecil's house because they only let you watch it from one IP address. But it's possible that the Black Phone 2 is included there. There's a whole bunch of movies. We don't know exactly what's available. So I might be able to see it this weekend pretty much. Oh, Eli, it's really good, man. It is definitely worth watching, guys. I think the Black Phone's really good. It's just got that late 70s feel. The soundtrack's really good. The performances are awesome. If you haven't seen it, I really do recommend checking it out. Oh, that's right. It is Jamie's anniversary in 30 minutes, right? 26 minutes, right? There you go. Happy 25th wedding anniversary, Jamie. To Jamie and the hubby. I'll cheers my fizzy water to that. All right, there we go. There we go. Yeah, Erica, why didn't you send shot by shot the invite? Okay, anyways, sorry guys. I could just sit here and like fuck off with you guys all night, but let's go ahead and cover this last news article and then we can just fuck off. How about that? Here we go. Okay, guys, so this news came out about a week ago. Originally, we were going to talk about it on the Hit the Bricks live stream last week. We just didn't get around to it, but this article comes to us by way of John Squires over at Bloody Disgusting. The headline reads, "The Descent Prequel? Neil Marshall floats the idea of returning to monster-infested caves." So, yeah, we're coming up on like 20 years of The Descent, which was such a surprise to me the very first time I saw it. It really put me there. I felt claustrophobic as all get out. And I loved the way it was sort of a slow burn. In a way, the original Descent reminded me of Jaws, in that you didn't get a full look of the creature until you're like 2/3 through the movie. There's little flashes that you have to have a keen eye to see. But once you see it, it is just this shock. And then it's got this Evil Dead type, amount of blood, and just, it's so visceral and so good. I love the original Descent. I couldn't even make it through like 45 minutes of the sequel. So that's all I'll say about that. But this news of a prequel has me somewhat intrigued. So let's check out the article and see what we got. So it kicks off with John Squires saying, "I'll never forget seeing The Descent on the big screen for the very first time. But one thing I'd like to forget is that my memorable theater experience took place a full 20 years ago. Yes, Neil Marshall's creature feature turns the big 2-0 this year, which doesn't seem right, but it's true. The movie came out in US theaters in 2005. Where the hell does the time go?" The masterful first film was followed by the less than stellar The Descent Part 2 in 2009, but Marshall didn't return to direct that one. All these years later, does he have any interest in heading back down into the caves and battling those All these years later, does he have any interest in heading back down into the caves and battling those horrifying monsters one more time? Chatting with Metro this week, Neil Marshall noted that he can, quote, "definitely see it happening," end quote, while also casually throwing out the idea of someday making a prequel to The Descent. Marshall explains, quote, "It's something I think would be good to wrap up the story. So many other franchises have been exploited over the years, but nothing has really happened with The Descent. I've got a few ideas. The trend seems to be prequels. I was always interested in finding out what happened to the miners who went down with the cave first." Speaking of The Descent, the official novelization of Neil Marshall's movie is being released this coming October, and you guys can click on this link here to read an exclusive excerpt and pre-order your copy now. And then they go into the synopsis of the film. I won't scroll any farther. For anyone that hasn't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil that image of the creature there, but this is interesting because, guys, usually I'm really not into prequels for the most part, right? Because a lot of times prequels just give us information we already know. I mean, even the Star Wars prequels, it's just like, oh, this is how this person got this item, or, we don't need to see romances happen that we already know the full story for and all that kind of stuff. But in this case, where it would be a prequel that would, be a period piece, and you would see, an original, or, one of the original encounters of a group of people dealing with these creatures down in the cave, I think that could be pretty interesting. And especially if Neil Marshall is the one to helm it, because I love the original so much. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. If you're watching live, let me know what you think of The Descent and how you feel about a possible prequel. And if you're watching after the fact, jump on into the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, and make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content. And guys, make sure the notification bell is hit, because we cover horror movie news here on the Davey Death Ray channel all the time. and you don't want to miss a thing. Okay, guys. All right. I'm officially off duty and I can just kick it with y'all. So let me get rid of that and let me go back on over here. Oh, there I can breathe. And guys, I'm wearing my Halloween Portal shirt. Thank you so much to the Trancus and Compass folks for sending this on over. Very, very cool. And oh my gosh, I almost forgot, guys. When I was at AMC last night for Jaws in 3D, I snagged this John Carpenter's Halloween snow cap. And it's got little Michael Myers is hiding. He's hiding back there. How cute is that? He's being kind of cute. He's being a little shy. He's hiding behind the hedge. He's behind your laundry. You like that shot by shot? You like that? But yeah, let me know if you guys want me to model this, and I can model it for you right now. I don't have to. Let's see what you guys are saying here. Let's see, did I miss something? Did I miss anything? Do you guys like The Descent? Have you guys seen The Descent? Yeah, the sequel is just weird. I don't know. It just seems so unnecessary. The Descent kind of reminds me of As Above, So Below. I've not seen that one. That one's more recent, right? The last like 6-7 years, something like that. Yeah, when I watched The Descent, so The Cave and The Descent came out like the same year or right around the same time. Everyone ripped on The Cave. And then I got them confused. I was like, oh, is this that stupid cave movie with like the bat monsters or whatever? And so I was hanging out with a bunch of friends back in Alaska, and they had rented it. And, we're, eating food, drinking, all that kind of stuff. I'm smoking weed and all that. And I'm pretty stoned. And we put on the movie. And oh my God, like when you're really stoned and then you watch something where they're really selling the claustrophobia, I was freaking the fuck out. And The Descent, again, I don't want to, no spoilers in the chat, because if you haven't seen this movie, you got to check it out. The opening scene is so shocking and you're really not prepped for it. And then the way the movie unveils itself, it is a movie that begs you to watch it multiple times. And what I found when I revisited the movie is that even though you don't really get the money shot of the creature until about 2/3 the way through, there are so many times where there are little flashes way in the background, little bits, you totally miss it, or at least I missed it the very first time because I'm so focused on the human characters and on the drama of the situation and just, the moment, that I wasn't even looking for, they're not really little Easter eggs, but just how much depth was caught by the camera and the cinematography. So yeah, man, The Descent, and I love a movie that covers your hero in blood, and they certainly do that here in The Descent. So it definitely got some Evil Dead vibes for sure. And it is, man, I want to watch it like tonight. I'll be over on the Discord. We'll watch The Descent tonight. Yeah, 20 years. That's wild. Maybe I should do a little something to celebrate the movie for its 20th year, because I think the sequel tainted the legacy. And I think it's a movie that maybe a lot of people just happen to miss out on. What's happening? We got Brad Hawk Talk hanging out. How are you doing, Brad? So good to see you. He says, hey guys, The Descent was iconic. Yeah, I'm a big fan, man. Big fan. First time listener, or long time listener, first time caller. And this, as a prequel, could be in a way that doesn't just serve, just to explain things away. Yeah, I think the prequel could be really good for this one, Aaron, for sure. I think that's what you're saying there. Gaz's brothers would be favorite horror, Texas Chainsaw and Jeepers Creepers. Saw and Supernatural. All right. I have not seen any Supernatural, not one episode. Not one episode. Brad likes the beanie. All right. So does Eli. There we go. Michael Myers be a shy bitch sometimes. That's how I read that shot by shot. That's how I read it. With that attitude. Yeah, The Descent's friggin' great. Didn't need a sequel. Exactly. Let's see here. As much as I love weed, I can't watch horror movies high. Yeah, it's all about, like, if you the things you have going on in your life can definitely affect the way a high goes, for sure. Yeah. Do you prefer her escaping or being stuck in the caves to end The Descent? I like the I like the whole, like, hallucination kind of aspect of it, right? Where she thinks she's looking at her daughter, but it's just not quite happening. Yeah, but I guess that doesn't really spoil it because there are 2 endings to The Descent, depending on which version you watch. A happy ending and a not so happy ending. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Luckily, I don't think of the sequel to The Descent very often. Same with Insidious 2. What about Sinister 2? I've heard that's really bad, and I love Sinister. Shot by Shot sends in a super sticker. I can't see it over here, but let me hop on over to the stream on YouTube and take a gander. What do we got? What do we got? It's cry. Is it crying from boredom? Is that what that means? Shot by Shot. Really appreciate the support, bud. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Oh yeah. And let's see what else we got going on here. Tara's telling me I need to watch Supernatural. I've heard that from so many people. And I know you're a huge fan of Katie Cassidy. I am as well. At least, you know, she's one of the only parts of the Nightmare on Elm Street remake I like. And I really love her in the Black Christmas 06. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, you meant Sinister too. Okay, gotcha. Sinister is great. Never watched the sequel. Yep, me too. Me too. Never did. Oh, it's the celebration of 10 stickers. I thought you were kind of ripping on Michael Myers there with your super chat sticker, or super sticker, as it were. No worries, no worries, guys. Do you want to see what the beanie looks like on your guy Davey Deathray's noggin? Let me know. I can model it for you. And speaking of drinking fizzy water, today I'm finishing up day 34 of no alcohol. How about that, guys? Day 34. It's been really easy. I'm very, very, very fortunate. I feel blessed that I don't sit there and like, I want to drink or anything. Like, it's been very, very easy. So I doubt it will be easy to never do it again. But it's been a breeze so far. Hey, no worries, Aaron. None of us are professionals here, or at least I'm not a professional content creator. You don't have to be a professional typist unless that is your job and you just like to let your hair down when you're here. Then that's fair too. Let's see here. Oh, what doesn't Christian like, right? I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, Christian's great. I know a lot of people that do. It's just a lot of television, and I have a tough time watching a lot of television. Honestly, thank you so much, Aaron. Really appreciate you. We'd love to see the shape on your head. Thank you so much, Ashton. Appreciate it. Brett, thank you. Eli, you guys are awesome. Chester, fight the good fight. Thank you. Did you cold turkey? No. I stopped using cannabis regularly last December, but there have been a few times, like if I'm hanging out with some buddies, might happen just like once a month or something where I'll partake. Really, that for me has never been the issue. The biggest issue that cannabis has had for me is I make poor eating decisions. Like I like to eat candy and stuff when I'm stoned. But it doesn't like really take away from motivation or anything like that. And it wasn't something I ever did impulsively or destructively the way that I would drink. So I think of them as very different. I mean, I went cold turkey on the booze, and I think since I quit, I've smoked like 2 or 3 times in the last month. I think just 2. I could be wrong though. Davey, is it harder to drink when going out, or is that situation not arisen yet? Stay strong either way. I really don't go out. I guess every now and then you might eat at a restaurant or something like that, but I don't like go. I'm not like I don't really go to the bars. Like when I watch football, I just like to watch the Red Zone channel here at home and stuff like that. And I did go to a Labor Day gathering where most everyone was drinking, and it wasn't a big deal. It doesn't make me, I know what it means for me when I do it. And so I just don't even, I don't know. I don't want to do it. So it's not difficult for me to like see other people partaking and not partake myself. So it doesn't make me want to drink anymore or anything like that. Well, cannibalism's probably more fun in moderation as well, right? Aaron, you are on one tonight, brother. You are on one. I'm going to put on this this hat for you guys and show you what it's all about. Over the headphones or under the headphones? Yeah, cannibalism, you got to go all the way with that. Here we go, guys. All right, there we are. How about it? How does it look? Does it look okay? I don't know if I've always, whenever I like put on a hat, like I played baseball as a kid. So baseball hats, I feel pretty normal wearing those. Whenever I put on a beanie, I'm like, am I a poser? Like, you know, I've skied a few times. I've never snowboarded or anything like that, but I did grow up in a really cold place where you had to wear beanies and snow caps. Oh my gosh, Shot by Shot says, I have COVID and I have school tomorrow, but I'm staying up late just for this stream. Well, hopefully you get better very, very soon. I didn't even know people were still getting COVID. I had no idea. No idea. I don't even know if I got sick now. I don't even know if I would test for it. I would just be like, oh, I have a cold, you know, something like that. Yeah, I do like the style of, they had one for Halloween too, and all it said, it had this small logo, like this big, and it said, welcome to Haddonfield. And I was like, how is that Halloween 2? Like, other than the tag that says Halloween 2, how is that Halloween 2? But I do like the, you know, look at that. Michael hiding back there. It's cute. I don't buy every little bit of Halloween merch that I, you know, come across, but I was like, well, there are, you know, come November through January, it gets really cold at night out here in the desert. Like, it gets cold to the point where you're seeing your breath, and, you know, you got to wear your, like, I like to smoke cigars in the winter occasionally, and you got to bundle up. So it'll be perfect for that. And yeah, I like it. But only with tax and everything, it was only $20. It's really not that bad. So yeah, I probably won't wear it on streams or anything like that unless I have terrible hair. But there you go. There you go, guys. Don't call it a comeback. I did, yeah. I signed up for that. It took, the site was like sort of spinning wheels for a second there, Eli. But I ended up getting it rolling. I had to try a few times. But yeah, thank you for sending that my way, man. Really appreciate it. What's the difference between a baseball hat and a trucker hat? Our trucker hat's a bit taller in the front. So the trucker hat is like the foam front with the net, like the plastic net in the back. So it is a baseball hat. It's just a version of a baseball hat. So it's considered trucker if it's the foam. I think even trucker might just be with the net in the back, no matter what kind of material is up front. But yeah, so I just consider those baseball hats. They're just, you know, they're the subgenre. They're the trucker hat subgenre, Aaron. So I've got a couple of those. I have a Dawn of the Dead and a Halloween, and then I have a snapback of for the Washington Commanders, even though I still call them the Redskins. I love the way the design looks on the hat, so I had to have it. It's like that 90s kind of style logo. And then I've got like maybe 4 or 5 Yankees fitted hats. And yeah, I got some fun stuff. Washington Capitals hat. Yeah. I like baseball hats. They're fun. I mean, each kind of baseball hat, like depending on who you buy it from, the material might sit differently. But as long as it's got that bill and it looks, yeah, I just consider them all baseball hats. That's wild. It can't even be that dangerous though anymore, right? I mean, if it even ever was. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just extra don't take it seriously now, guys. That's just my personal thoughts on it. You definitely don't have to subscribe to my personal thoughts on COVID. All right, let's see here. We're about an hour 45. I could see we could roll for a little bit longer if you guys want to. I know it's pretty late out there on the East Coast for you folks. I'm already getting warm wearing the cap, so I'm going to take it off because it's still, let's see, 97 degrees outside. So the AC is still working here at 9 p.m. Feels like 92 is what it says outside. So really not that bad. Really not that bad. Let's see here. Why is COVID still a thing? Get rid of it. I'm right there with you. I didn't even know it was still a thing. Okay. Guys, pretty good stream. All right. You guys were amazing. I think at some point we had like 33 or maybe even 35 or 36 people kicking it here. That's amazing. You guys are awesome. Just so you guys know, tomorrow night I'm going to be over on Facci Cinema. We're going to be doing a versus battle with A Nightmare on Elm Street 84 versus A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. Gosh, I wonder who's going to win. Which movie's going to win that battle? I will be as fair as possible. That's all I'll say. I'll be as fair as possible. Maybe the 2010 remake can get a point for me. We'll see. I guess it just depends on which, criteria Matt picks. I have no idea what the criteria is going to be. So I would guess there's going to be some sort of, run-of-the-mill kind of stuff to compare. But last time we did it with the Friday the 13th original versus the remake, and some of the categories were kind of a surprise to me. So I sort of prefer that. That way it's sort of a natural reaction. I actually get to think about it a little bit more during the stream. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. That'll be 9:15-ish Eastern. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be doing Late Night with the Davey. I'm thinking of doing that horror. Last Friday, we did a horror franchise ranking on Tier Maker, and you guys got to vote on each film, and that was interesting. Or franchise, we ranked 63 franchises, guys. It was wild. So I'm thinking on Wednesday for Late Night with the Davey, we will do a live Tier Maker ranking where you guys get to vote, and it'll be horror villains. So shot by shot, that's your chance to get in some, to dunk on Myers if you want to show up for that one. But I love those because you guys can actively vote through a link that I provide for the Tier Maker site, which is really, really cool. It was super fun and interactive, and I learned a little bit because we set the timer for like 30 seconds. Guys, for the horror villains, I'm going to set the timer to 90 seconds, so you have time to vote. You have time to jump in the chat and talk some shit. And we can actually, I felt like an auctioneer last Friday where it was just flying by. So now that there's not going to be 63 items to rank, I think we can let it breathe a little bit, have some more fun with each other. So I'm thinking of doing that on Wednesday. And in the background, I am just working on pre-recorded material for spooky season. So that should be rolling out here within the next week or two. Just making sure that I'm loaded up for the back half of September and, of course, for October. Other things I've got in the works, guys, I'm putting together a marathon. So it'll be a fundraiser and subathon marathon. So I'm looking to go 8 to 10 hours straight that first week of October, bringing on a guest for about 25-30 minutes every hour, having a guest come on in. I've already got a topic that I want to discuss with them, and something that will be kind of accumulating some information, some what's the word I'm looking for? Some data. I'm going to be accumulating data on horror films in their lives, and that should be really fun. We're going to raise some money for St. Mary's Food Bank here in the Phoenix area. Don't worry, if you're not religious, you don't care about any of that stuff. They're just called St. Mary's Food Bank because the St. Mary's Church is the organization that donated a building and some money to them back in 1967 when they started their, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think right now, guys. We're not even at 2 hours and I can't even think. St. Mary's, the church, donated a building and money so they could start the nonprofit. And what they do, what St. Mary's Food Bank does here in the Phoenix area, is they just do what they can to feed as many families as possible. So there's not any sort of requirement that they be a part of any organization or anything like that. They just try to help as many families as possible. And they're a great organization. So I want to raise some money for them. And I thought that maybe doing a marathon to gain some subs could be a way that we could possibly reach that 2,000 mark of subscribers before Halloween. Because if we hit 2K before Halloween, I will dress up as the Alpha from 28 years later and do a Halloween stream. That should be very embarrassing for me and very fun for you. So that's what we got cooking in the background. Let me see what you guys are saying here, and then we will go ahead and call it a night. I already said 90 seconds, Erica. Bossy Boots. Miss Bossy Boots. Yeah. For now. Have a great night, Eli. Take care, brother. Bring drum dums to... Well, yes. I mean, I've certainly got plans. I've already got it all figured out in my head who I'm going to reach out to. I need to pick a night that's going to work for everyone, and we'll get it cooking. But yeah, having Lee on the channel is definitely, I've got my sights set on that one for sure, Tara. Yep. Wow, 53 degrees in New Hampshire. Enjoy, Paula, enjoy. I don't do that kind of thing. So last year I did 31 shorts. I did a short every day. So what I'm going to do this year is maybe I might do every other day. It was a lot. And those things take usually a group of people organize quite a bit for the 31 days. So I'm looking to do something every day, but it can be really tough. You know, this isn't my job. So if this were my job, I would do 31 days for sure. If this were the main gig, then yes, for sure. Davey, this might be something to cover. There's a new Blu-ray box set coming out called Shudder: A Decade of Fearless Horror. It looks really cool. I did see that. I thought about covering that, Aaron, and I chose not to. I think I have it pulled up here somewhere. I decided not to because it looks like there aren't any, like, other than the box, it doesn't look like they've added any like special features to the movies or anything like that. But it does look like a really cool, I mean, it's really cool that Shudder's putting that together. Most of those movies, or at least the ones that I've seen, I really enjoy. But it doesn't look like there's anything special as far as like added features on the discs. But congrats to Shudder for 10 years. I've been a yearly subscriber for the last like 4 or 5 years, something like that. See what else we got. No schlong. I mean, obviously I can't show the schlong. All right, Shay, have a good one, man. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Davey, if you make it to 2,000 subscribers, a faux penis has to be part of your alpha costume. I'll wear one on my shoulder like a bazooka. Actually, guys, I do a bazooka impression. Check this out. There you go. A little bit of a bazooka impression for you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, so I thought about covering it and I was like, oh, I already have, like, sometimes just for like the length of the stream and everything, I try not to go over more than like 5 items on the news. But maybe that's something we'll talk about next week on Hit the Bricks. I'm not sure. But it is very cool of them that they did that. Terrified, I really enjoyed that one. Late Night with the Devil, love that movie. And In a Violent Nature is fun for what it is. It's it was a good one serving for me. There's still a couple that I need to see from that box, like The Dark and the Wicked. I've heard really good things about that. I've never seen that, but I've heard it's great. So yeah, I need to check some more of those out. And then everyone loves Skinamarink. It's funny, like a couple people that I know really love that movie, and then everyone else is like, wow, what a pile of shit. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I know what Jamie thinks about Skinamarink. So if Jamie's still in the chat, Jamie, I know where you sit. Let's see here, guys. Yeah, we're about at 2 hours. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. Once again, want to thank Shot by Shot for the 99-cent super sticker. Shot by Shot's 10th super sticker. How about that? And thank you so much to the Patreon members, the YouTube channel members, our Death Squad mods. And guys, remember, the Discord is really fun. It's free. The link is pinned in the chat. It's also in the description. So if you're watching this after the fact and you've gotten this far, you are so awesome. Click that Discord link. Join us on over there. And guys, the Fourth Wall Shop is popping with a bunch of spooky season gear. Use the code SPOOKY for 10% off. That code is not going to last forever. So check out the shop, see if there's something you like, and make that purchase as soon as you can. I'm glad you made it too, Jay. How about that? And hey, guys, who knows? Maybe Erica will want to stay up all night and put a movie on over on Discord tonight. I don't know. Or maybe I'll jump on over there and put something on. I'm trying to watch more movies I've never seen before. So might just have to hop on Tubi and check out something that I've never seen before. That's been the goal this year. And so on Wednesday, guys, I'll give you a roundup of all the newer or the new to me movies that I've seen. So I watched Hell Night last week, Magic, the doll movie with Anthony Hopkins that Sam Raimi is producing the remake of. I watched that last week. And I'll probably watch a couple in between now and then. So yeah, guys, I will be back on Fachi's Cinema tomorrow night, 9:15 Eastern, and then back on over here at the Davey Death Ray channel for Late Night with the Davey on Wednesday evening. So keep an eye out for that. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I love you all. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Make sure you hit that like before you head out of the stream. And yeah, I can't wait to kick it with you guys yet again sometime soon. I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. So guys, having said all of that, until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Death Ray. Take care.